across Leicester and across the world. This is DemonFM.
Is this the intro or the outro to the podcast?
One of them, definitely.
Well, we got one which, if this is the intro at the end of the podcast, you will hear because it's featuring Dave from the technicians
Office down the corridor.
Yeah, from DemonFM. This is the podcast featuring
Jon Richardson
from Six Music. He's also a comedian.
He's a stand-up guy. Yeah,
I didn't know
he's a stand-up guy in every sense of the word. Yeah.
And you can hear that right now with Iain Buckland talking to him. This is the Rush Hour podcast for 107.5 Demon FM. Forgot to add that in. Did you want to stop swearing at people from outside the window?
I'm swearing at Mark Williams.
Mark Williams?
Two windows.
Oh, excellent.
He has no idea what we're doing. I'm just swearing at him for fun now.
Oh, okay, excellent. Stay tuned to Demon FM and find out what that's all about. Unless you listen to this come August, where we would have left.
Here's me talking to Jon Richardson.
You're listening to Rush Hour on 107.5 Demon FM.
Hello, this is Iain Buckland. I'm at the Little Theatre here with Jon Richardson, who's about to perform his show This Guy at Night as part of the Leicester Comedy Festival.
Yep.
How are you, Jon?
I'm good, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, we're in your spacious dressing room here. It's
massive, isn't it?
got a nice echo to it.
There were 4 puffs and a piano in here yesterday, from the evidence.
Oh, right.
So that's why it's so big.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to do with it. I've ironed a shirt. Well, that's about it.
Yeah,
I had a good run up at it.
Yeah, plenty of space. Now this show, This Guy at Night,
Yeah.
I noticed it's kind of built up a part of your routine from some of your Edinburgh shows over the last few years.
Yeah, this is last year's Edinburgh show, so
Right.
In full.
What kind of inspires your content for the shows?
I always just talk about what's on my mind, really. More just because I avoid topical issues because they only last a while and then you have to get rid of them. And, inherently they're complex issues because, no one knows what's right or wrong. So if I think, if I just talk about things I notice, then I can't be right or wrong and I'll always have material. So it's just how I feel at the time, really.
Is this your first time doing the Leicester Comedy Festival?
No, I've been here, I think it's the 3rd year I've done a full show, and I was coming up as far back as 5 years ago, really, doing little package shows and things in weird little pubs. There's one called the Cricketers Arms.
Oh, right.
Outside. Yeah, that was a bad experience. We'll move on from that.
Now you're moving into a bigger venue, of course, with the Little Theatre. The name's deceptive, I suppose.
Yeah, it's bigger than the one I did last year. Yeah, I was at the Phoenix last year, which I think is about 250. I think this is about 360 or something. So yeah. And people keep coming, which is ridiculous. There's so much else to do.
Are you planning on doing more festivals this year? Because obviously it's going to be Edinburgh. I know this is one of the kind of dedicated comedy ones, but
there's a few that I sort of try and get in every year. More the comedy specific ones. So I'm off to Melbourne in March. That'll be the first time I've done that one. And Kilkenny in Ireland, which I did last year for the first time and loved. And then Edinburgh again. So there's sort of 3 main ones I try and get in. And then there's Glasgow in as well, and Leicester and ones like that. Yeah.
Now, some people might know you, of course, from your Six Music radio show, which I believe you started out doing with Russell Howard.
That's right, yeah. We took over from Russell Brand 3.5 years ago.
So Russell John.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm sure there'll be another Russell now. Maybe Russell Kane, something like that.
Yeah. Now, he, of course, used to be a housemate of yours, I understand.
Yeah, we lived together for a year with 4 of us in the house.
How was it sharing with another comedian? Is it all right?
It's odd, really. You sort of imagine you'll have a similar body clock, rather than if you live with someone, I've lived with mates who have ordinary jobs and they're out 9 to 5 and then you're out 5 till midnight or 1 in the morning. So you sort of assume you'll be together in the day, but it wasn't like that, really. We're all at such different points in our careers that you sort of had different, we were out and about at different times, and Russell and Mark and John, who I was living with, are all from Bristol, so they were at family and whatnot. I found it, it wasn't far different from living on your own, really.
Now, as you've said, you've got more festivals coming up, but you've also announced that you're going to be leaving your Six Music show.
That's right.
So what's next for you then?
Just more comedy, really. It's a difficult one because I love doing the radio, and it is kind of close to comedy, but I struggle a bit when I get introduced on things as a DJ, and I think I need to sort of reassert that I'm a stand-up. So I'll be doing the tour this year. I'll be going back to Edinburgh. I've got bits of TV, a couple of pilots and things that will be coming out. So it's more about just refocusing my attention on the comedy really and the writing, and then maybe pick up radio again later. I've loved doing it, so I'd like to do more radio at some point, but it's a bit risky at the moment, getting sort of typecast as a DJ when really I'm a comic.
Yeah. Now, obviously, a festival is also a place to showcase new talent as well.
Yes.
Do you know of anyone either performing here or coming up another festival for us to look out for, other than yourself, of course?
I was just talking to someone today about someone I haven't seen yet, but there's a new act called Joe Lycett, who I'm looking forward to seeing. He's, always. I think if you're popular with comics when you start out, that's a sign that you're doing something, interesting. There are people who start off and have a lot of confidence or have a unique take on things, but if you're liked by comics, it generally means you're doing something a level above, really, that they're interested in watching you. But comedy's in a really good state at the moment. It's with the rise of Live at the Apollo and panel shows, it sort of feeds down, and so many people are trying comedy now that statistically there's bound to be some who aren't rubbish coming through.
Someone's got to make it through.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I just want to get a reaction to one of the quotes I found of you.
Okay.
Could be an interesting one. Richardson is an OCD-affected, grumpy young man who can spin a brilliant routine and could well be the best comic of his generation.
I've read that one a few times. That was on my poster, I think, last year.
Right.
Well, I was going to say I can't really fault it, but up until the last sentence, I try not to label myself as OCD afflicted, just because it's I have tendencies that way. As for the best comic of my generation, then I think there are comics already in my generation who are far better than I will ever be. So that's a nonsense. But it's a very nice thing if someone says that about you.
It's a nice thing, as you say, to put on the poster, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Stick it on. If people believe it, then it's true.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for talking to me.
It's a pleasure.
And I hope you have a good show here tonight.
So do I. So do the audience.
All the best for that and the future.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Cheers, Tom.
That was me having a chat with Jon Richardson. This has been a Rush Hour podcast for DemonFM 107.5. Listen to more on www.demonfm.co.uk. Finished, in the bag, done.
Falling in love with us? Carry on checking us out at demonfm.co.uk.
Silence falls in the studio. It's my dramatic introduction to what is going to be a very uneventful podcast. All right, Kyle?
I'm fine. How are you? How? For now. Can you remember that? Dave. We got Dave, who's a DemonFM. He's a technician.
Hi there. Hi.
Did you ever watch How?
How for now?
Yeah.
How to?
It's How to, isn't it?
No,
Fred Dinage.
no. He said how for now.
Did he?
No,
When
that's
he left.
How for now. It's right at the end. He goes, How for now.
That
Why are
is
you
right,
doing
yeah,
the...
yes. I don't know why he's doing the
Spock thing, aren't
Spock
I?
thing, because that's not right.
What did they do then? How did they do it?
No, they just...
Was it just...
how is from the Indian how.
Fair enough.
Like that. That's what they were doing there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And
Anyway,
totally
was his name the guy with the glasses? Was it Bob?
Fred Dinage, I just told
Fred,
you.
Of course you
Was
did.
it one of them?
Fred
Weather
Dinage.
Girl.
I don't know.
Right.
Fred Dinage, just the news of my local Meridian thing on ITV. Back home.
Did it have that guy from Art Attack on it as well? No.
Neil Buchanan.
Was he on it too?
No,
I was thinking of Neil Diamond, but that's a decision.
No, that's
it's not him at all. But anyway, this podcast, which is already good, just basically has me having a chat with the lovely Jon Richardson
From Six Music.
and his own stand-up stuff.
Yes.
Here it is.